Warning, this podcast contains drug relapse overdoses.
Withdrawals is the word.
Withdrawals?
Yeah. Well, and the mom.
And relapses.
Yeah, the mom's relapsing, I think.
Hello everyone and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast where we talk over our intros for The Walking Dead Season 1 Episode 2. So close and yet so far. I'm your host Cleo, and with me I have John, Pat and Michelle,
Hello.
and Dom. Boy, I always point in the wrong direction. There we go. Yeah, I like as an episode, I liked this episode more. It's still lacking a bit of the punch that I was expecting the show to have. What do you guys think?
I liked it a lot more. I actually will continue to watch the show now. So
Yay! John was on the fence about whether
I was on the I really was. It was this episode was going to make or break it for me, but it was good. It was good enough that I'm like, yeah, you know what, I'm in.
Right.
I can do full for this.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what the pacing was going to be, if it was going to be, as slow as the first episode or not. I was told, the first episode starts off really slow, but then the meat of it gets into it the rest of the season. I just didn't realize how fast they were going to get into it. Like, they jumped right in. Like, civilization's already diminishing. Like, they're killing people, they're robbing. It's like, I did not expect this thing to happen in the second episode.
That's what Tobias said, and he said it. I think he said it twice. The
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah, he did. He said it
When
again.
society falls, it falls fast. If they're going to abandon their jobs, things are not going to. Infrastructure's not going to be upheld for very much longer.
Nope.
I pretty much expected the shit going on, and the whole time, the only thing that I was paying attention to was the fact that the iPhone head jacks were on the top. Therefore, they're old phones, so that brings up Dom's point that they're not using new technology and bouncing like a flash forward back thing going on.
Right, okay.
We'll get there.
So-
We're not gonna get into that again.
We had to bring Apple back up.
Yeah,
It was such a hot topic last week.
I feel like the whole season is sponsored by Apple.
We spent like 15 minutes last week talking about what gear based on phones.
Mm-hmm.
So sad. And
Well,
is
I really don't want to get into the whole thing, but the whole reason I even directed the question to Pat in the first place is Pat used to work at Apple, so he would know best. So I had to get it straight from the horse's mouth. Pat,
Yeah.
I just called you a horse.
Nay.
I'm probably acting more like an ass right now than anything, so.
We tell jokes here, ladies and gentlemen.
we try.
Into this episode.
Not all gold.
So the family's plan is to get out into the desert. Is that a good plan?
Not at all. I was like, no.
Let's go to an area where there's no food and water.
Right.
No, listen. Where they need to go is the desert sessions area where the Queens of the Stone Age recorded every single album they've ever made,
Yes.
and just chill with Josh Homme with some chilled out fucking grooves for the rest of your fucking lives. That's how you live out the apocalypse.
Yeah.
No one's gonna find you there.
Yeah,
But then you have
Can
no
we
food.
actually get
from the
Slash
school.
on the
We
show
have
playing
food.
himself? Can that happen?
I mean, he said he wanted to.
Make it happen.
He said he would. I mean, Scott Ian's been on the show, but as a zombie.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, like, the desert just seems like a really, maybe it seems safe because that's where nobody is, and you don't have to worry about, and you could see people coming from miles away, if they are going to come.
Yeah.
So in that regards, yeah, it's a good idea, but in the regards of no food, where do you expect to get gasoline from to keep making trips to go get food?
Yeah.
In that regards, it's really bad idea.
Like
So
ammo or whatever else you might need later on.
And I mean, then there's the obvious, the elements. You have to deal with the heat in the day and the drop in temperature at night.
Yeah.
It's not like there's a bunch of tauntauns like roaming around that you can gut open.
yeah.
That's true. That is true.
well, did they I don't I'm not sure what they meant when they said the desert. Do they just mean just go out into the friggin' cactus and just live out there, or do they mean
I was thinking.
like a small desert town that they're familiar with?
Night Vale. No,
Night Vale.
I-
Yeah.
I mean,
Actually,
this is something that I think you could tell in Madison's body language in this episode, but they think this is gonna blow over in a month.
yeah.
They think this is gonna be over.
Yeah.
They just want to ride it out.
I don't
Yeah.
think
They
it's
don't
gonna
have a
go that
long-term
way.
plan.
It's
I
just
mean,
or
it's not
something.
like I have any foreseeable knowledge of the future and know what's
No.
gonna happen or anything, but I don't see that happening.
No, I don't. That notion seems silly to us, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But then again,
Yeah.
they aren't familiar. So
I mean,
it's-
that's the thing that we fall into here with prequel kind of stories is knowing the element of the future. If they try to like work in, I know that was one of John's concerns last week. If they try to work in a cure, we know where that whole storyline is going. So for them to do that to us in like a large capacity, like an arc of it would be like awful. You'd
But
lose
I
so
also
many people.
I also think that this show is handling that aspect of they know their fan, whoever's watching this show knows the future. They've watched The Walking Dead.
Right.
A very large percentage of us. And they're playing on that. They did a cut in the beginning of the episode of Alicia walking in
Alicia.
to Matt's room and her going, "Oh my god." And we're like, "Yep, he's a zombie." Okay. So they're
Yeah, really.
clearly playing on what we know.
Mhm.
So I don't think they're going to fall
was
into that.
walking down the road.
Well, yeah.
I called it walking down the road. I called the other freaking zombie that we're going
Oh.
to talk about later.
We called it last week. We were like, "Oh, yep, Matt's not texting her. He's a zombie."
Well, and then
the
you got
teacher,
the
or
principal.
The principal as well.
Principal's walking around the place alone with a walkie-talkie. I'm like, dude, zombie, gonna happen.
Well,
I want to know, like, so Matt was bit, right? I heard
Yes.
I was. Yeah.
Matt got bit.
I want to know how he got bit. I don't know if we're ever gonna get that answer. But
I don't think we're ever going to see Matt again.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I think we will. I think she's gonna go back for him at some point. She already tried to do it once. I think
well, that's
she's.
just it. But she's going to see him completely. like-
Yeah, I think she's gonna do it again, and he's gonna be full blown zombie at that point. But I wanna see how the principal turned into a zombie. That's something I really actually want to know.
Yes,
I don't
and
care that
that's-
much about Matt.
But what
This
caused
is-
him to get stabbed in the back? That's what I'm like, Dom. I want to know what.
Because he was
what actually
bleeding from his
happened.
back.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact, and it looked
And
like
that's
there
what
was a
caused him to
stab
probably
wound.
do that.
And it's not unusual for The Walking Dead to go back at some point and do like one big flashback to like wrap everything up. And
Exactly.
But-
You know.
how we got here.
I had this thought watching this episode, and I brought it up in the Walking Dead proper podcast, where I've said this setup of this, a house that they walked into is very specific. Something very specific happened in this house. We're never going to get to know that, like why it's set up the way it is. And I thought about that with the party across the street. I was like, this could have been something that we saw in The Walking Dead and just saw like the party and not known, it's like racking our brains. What happened? But we saw it because this is so far in the past.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure stuff like that where they're gonna still be like, yep, you're never gonna know.
See, and that's at times when I wish the locations were not so far apart from each other, because I would like to see the collapse of civilization over, Atlanticide and see what caused where, all our people are from, to like the houses they're going in, like see some of that stuff. And like some of it that you wouldn't even recognize right off the bat. You could just like set up a house and be, whatever, and then realize, oh, that's the house that, that Michonne found all the children in the bed, like they could do something like that would be so subtle. It's not even like a huge thing, but to like the hardcore fans, they'd be like, whoa, and it would just, that would be great. So I wish at some point they decide to travel. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, it could happen.
Yeah.
That's gonna be obviously not this season, because
Right.
I doubt they're even
No.
getting out of LA this season.
No, but
No,
you did
no.
see there was a plane. So they intentionally shown the plane flying overhead, so it was going somewhere. So that's
But
if this did start in LA, for example, let's say patient 0 was in LA, this is the first place, somebody could be infected on that plane ride going to New York. And
Yes.
then now the other side, and then it groups in and it meets in the middle, so that could be how this ends up happening. We don't know where it started, but
that's
Well,
we don't.
we're also in the theory that it's airborne from our knowledge of The Walking Dead.
Mhm.
Yeah, that everyone's already got it.
Rick mentioned that everybody already has it. Now, if I'm going off of Dom's theory, where the plane's traveling it, that must mean that it leaked in LA,
Hmm.
and only LA's infected
Right,
at
as of
this
now.
point.
Yeah.
But we know that's not true.
No, that's not
Because
true.
We
There
don't know
are
for sure that
reports-
it's not true.
But
No,
there
we do. They said that there
Yeah.
were multiple states and
are multiple states
whatnot
that had
reporting
these
attacks
victims.
like this.
Oh,
So
were they? Okay.
there's some simultaneous stuff going on.
No, all right.
They said like at least 5 or 6 other states.
Okay, I
We have
did
no
miss
idea
that.
where Patient Zero is.
Atlanta was one of them, as a matter of fact. I do remember them actually
Okay.
mentioning.
Oh, I don't remember that.
So then
Like
it
Georgia.
proves the fact
So-
that it's an airborne.
See, that's a good point. Danette Stone King in
Yeah.
chat is bringing up that it may be
Say
something to
that.
do with the water. If a water supply is contaminated, like, say Holden Springs or something, for example, got contaminated and everybody's drinking that, it's not necessarily airborne. But it's in people's system. They drank it, they ate it, it was in some kind of food, we don't know
Yeah,
exactly what it was
that's-
from. That does not mean it's airborne, but everybody could still have it in their system.
It's true.
Hmm.
It's good. I like that. But yeah, I don't know. But then it would have to be, because not everyone drinks bottled water.
Right.
That's just the thing. And then how do you explain just people who get sick and then...
Yeah, but
It
later
could
on,
be from their municipal supply, and then water evaporation, it gets into the air, and then it rains down, and then it contaminates other water supplies, and
well, it's either that or let's go off the sheer fact that after a certain point, the water is going to get infected. They're grabbing all this bottled water
That's
in the
Also-
regular Walking Dead.
Yeah.
They're grabbing every source of water because there's no electricity to pump the water around. So you're either doing well pumps or you're grabbing bottled water at every freaking gas station, grocery store, school, whatever.
you could be
So-
packing it up into the back of your trunk like that cop was.
yeah.
Well, yeah. I
That
mean,
cop knows something.
It
yeah, that
seems
was
like
the
they
point
know
of that scene.
more
was
than
like,
we do.
That's right. Yeah, the cops were just like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna get my gun and go home.
Yeah.
It's going down and I need water.
When we
Yeah,
talk
I'm
about-
thirsty.
Cops in the establishment.
Hmm.
I just want to
The
mention
van.
about the desert. Watching this episode, I know now why they picked to put this story in California, because we've got the forest dynamic of Georgia. Like we've got running through the woods with walkers. This is gonna be a whole different thing. Running through the desert with walkers.
Yeah, and California is probably the epitome of a nice urban setting, for something like that too.
I was just going to say, yeah.
Like,
City.
because California, it's got like the hills and stuff in it, and it's got more layers to it, where New York is just, it's built up, and California is built out,
Well, yeah.
So.
Yeah, like a complete environmental change from what we're used to seeing on The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
So now I understand why California.
Yeah. I mean, California does have, like, a lot of forests, too, but just not in the area we're in.
Exactly. So let's talk about the cops hoarding water. How many, who do we think knows about the infected? Like, obviously the cops know, because they're headshotting bitches. And
but
CDC
are they?
knows, because they're
Are they?
putting
Because
people on the scene.
the first couple encounters that they had with them, they pumped their body full of 7-8 shots. Like the first one in the protest, they said that they pumped the homeless guy
20
full
times.
of 20 shots. So if they knew, if they had any advanced knowledge of this and knew headshots, they wouldn't have put 20 bullets into him.
No.
It's true.
So
Yeah, but the second one they only shot twice.
right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, I think maybe rookies are the ones on the street, but the
Trigger
ones
happy.
that are like higher ups in the police force
Might know.
are the ones that are grabbing shit and getting the fuck out.
They might
Because
not, yeah.
between them and doctors and probably, higher in the chain of, civilization know what the hell's going on.
I feel like they don't have any kind of prior knowledge, and they're learning as they
Well-
go. But since they're the ones with the weapons, they're learning the quickest.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
They're the ones calling for the responses.
We did see in this episode that when that lady with the midriff showing zombie,
Mhm.
I don't know how else to
The
describe
hippie
her. When
zombie.
the hippie zombie, when she showed up,
I like
the
her.
cop shot her
I did
once.
too.
She shot her once in the chest and then once in the head. So
Yep.
obviously, like they're figuring out like how to deal with them already.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those were also the cops that. Those were the same cops that shot the homeless man.
The
Yeah.
first, like,
Right.
yeah.
They had just dealt with a zombie.
Yep. So
Hey,
somebody-
Walker, there's no zombies in this universe.
Sorry.
Whatever.
Gotta get
But-
back used to calling them walkers again. I do this every season. We come back and I'm like, zombie, zombie. And it's like, no, they're walkers. Damn it.
Yeah.
Same thing.
They just don't have that word in their vernacular.
Okay.
Yeah. Zombies don't exist in this universe.
Yeah.
Except they're everywhere.
Just, yeah.
Except for the
Zombie-
ones that are real and killing people.
Zombie pop culture doesn't exist in that.
No.
Right.
And then
So I have a dumb question. Which human will kill the first human from our cast of wonderful friends?
Oh, it's Nick. He already
Yeah.
killed a human.
yeah.
Yeah,
Killed the drug dealer.
And
That's
his
true.
Was
and
he a human though?
Self-defense. That was not actually killing.
Okay, fine.
his brother
No,
killed.
I'm talking
I
like
think it's gonna
Oh
be-
yeah, yeah.
just
it's
straight up
when
murder
shot,
kind of
yeah.
like killing. You know what I mean?
But then you had the mother do the Rick thing where, oh, we're just gonna let our neighbor get eaten by a zombie or a walker.
Right.
She killed
But
someone.
that's why they're gonna live. Because they're not
Yeah.
gonna be a hero.
Right.
Which I think Alicia's gonna have the hardest time surviving because she's really a good person.
She's
wants to
basically
help.
she's basically Carl.
A little bit.
Oh my god, she's Carl.
She is Carl. Like she won't stay in the house.
Girl, Carl.
She's naive.
But Carl.
Carl just
See-
won't stay in the goddamn house.
I think what it's going to take. You know what I think? My prediction is actually she's going to go back to her boyfriend's house and have to kill him, and then it's going to hit her like I need to stop being an asshole
Yeah, probably.
and get my shit together. So
Like this is really happening.
like this is real, and I need to not fuck around and listen to my mom, who's maybe doing drugs. I don't know.
Maybe.
I mean,
No,
she
she
did go
wasn't-
back to the school to raid the drug supply,
Yeah,
drug
and
confiscation.
She kept a bunch from her son,
Yeah.
quite a bunch.
Well, no, I thought she only gave him one pill.
She did.
So she's trying to wean him off.
Yeah, my theory on that is she was keeping it to
Sick.
give to him, you know,
Maybe.
in small doses to help.
She's trying to give it
Definitely.
abortion control
Mhm.
so that he doesn't go all. We lost Cleo. Go all kind of crackerjacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and that makes sense because they like if their plan is to get away from the city, they need to, they need to wean him down because he's not going to make it through the withdrawals and a lack of food.
Right.
Yeah.
Because she was looking at it like she was going to possibly take some of the drugs, but it was like,
That's-
yeah, no.
That was my impression, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
No. I
Well,
thought
she
was
stared at the
going to
bottles
take
for a
them
little
too.
bit, and she was like, "Oh my God."
She at least contemplated it.
Yeah,
I mean,
she was
there's,
like,
there's one of two options. When she goes back for her boyfriend, she's either gonna kill him or she's gonna die.
yeah,
I think the latter.
I
I
don't think she's gonna die
it's
yet.
killing him.
Probably
I think
not.
For a while, it'll probably come real close, and then.
I don't know. She's definitely Carl though. There's no doubt about it.
Naive, young.
Now I gotta figure out who like each of the cast members' Walking Dead equivalents are.
I know, right?
Well, Rick is the mother,
Pretty much, yeah.
Mama Rick.
and
Mama
we got
I like
Lori is probably the father.
Tra-
Or the boyfriend.
Travis, I pinned more of like I
Shane.
don't know why I'm like thinking T-Dog.
T-Dog.
Yeah,
Yeah, quick kill.
I miss T-Dog.
yeah,
Now you
reminded
me.
No.
And I'm
And-
sad.
I'm really sorry.
Okay.
You
Um,
I-
can't see it on my face because I'm frozen. But
And Tobias is 100% Daryl.
Tobias? I don't think we're gonna see Tobias ever again.
I hope so.
Okay, so he's Merle.
Because I didn't think we'd see him this episode.
So, but you're right. There's probably a chance
So Tobias is Merle. We're never gonna see him ever again.
until like a later date, and like he just like
And he's got
randomly
one
wakes
arm.
up, maybe.
Yeah, I could definitely see a zombie Tobias running around at some point, and that'll be sad. Like that's because it's almost as if he's the one that has really helped Madison come to realize, what the world, has become. Even if it's not like him directly, it's
No, I agree.
her seeing the world through his eyes rather than his knowledge.
You know,
Well, he's given her a reality check essentially. Like,
I feel like, and I may be off base here, but you know how like in Star Wars, like Han Solo was kind of like the anchor character. He was like kind of like us,
Mm-hmm.
like in how he reacted to everything that was going on. Like we'd be like, "This shit's crazy. I'm fucking Han Solo," whatever. I feel like Tobias is almost meant to be us because Tobias knows so much about what's going on that
Right.
we kind of know. So like, I feel like he's supposed to be like our analog in that show, if that makes sense.
Right.
yeah, I
You know what I
guess
mean?
He's
Never
kinda,
tell me the odds.
definitely.
He's
Right.
like, okay, I've been watching this shit. The shit's going down. I don't know what it's called, but hell's gonna break loose. I'm grabbing a shit ton of
This
food
is
and
what's
getting the
gonna
hell
happen.
out.
Like I understand. He's like
Yeah.
one.
And
For me,
even the way he handled like the principal zombie was, I thought, really good, because we're so used to seeing all the characters on the Walking Dead just go in, stab them with the knife, and they go down, whatever. And here he is trying to stab the principal in the skull with his knife, and it's like barely penetrating his head.
Let's say it bounced right off.
Now, I had a theory on that. Is that because that they're so fresh?
I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
like the
because
others are so
If you think about it, these guys have only changed in.
matters
20
of hours.
Can I finish?
I'm saying in matters of hours.
You're like looking less than 24 hours.
Right.
So their bones have not decayed yet, because keep in mind, there's still flow of blood almost, even though their circulatory system's shutting down. It hasn't completely yet. It's not like our zombies that we've seen decaying as they're walking through that we're used to in The Walking Dead.
Right.
Yeah.
They're fresh, so all their bone structure, everything, whole 9 yards, even, from their jaws, everything is still proper human.
They're probably a lot more powerful too physically.
Because
feel
she
like.
fucking
I
took
would think so.
she took that freaking fire extinguisher and she lopped him in the chin, and if it was a regular walker, then in turn that whole head would have just flew off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Barely
I agree.
felt his neck snap.
Yeah, I mean,
With fresh walkers, and somebody made a joke about Tobias holding his knife like it was dragon glass from Game of Thrones.
I
Yeah.
don't recall.
Yeah, it was a meme online.
I'll
Look
check
it up.
yes. It was
Gotcha.
really funny. I actually did see
I will
that.
have to check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's just the bones are not decaying, so the skull is too thick to penetrate with the knife.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're gonna have to either hit temple now, or you're gonna have to go for a soft spot.
Just sever the head.
But he missed
At that point-
stabbing the head.
You got a little
he's
freaking
not-
pocket knife.
yeah.
What the hell are you gonna do?
Yeah. I mean, did you ever see 128 hours or whatever? You can do it. It's just gonna take a while.
Yes.
Takes a long time.
And it's got to be harder for some people to actually kill now too, because they look so human.
Well, until you see the freaking blue eyes. Oh, hey, look, Game of Thrones reference again.
White Walker.
Yep. But I just want to, where's Tobias going with all the food that he took from the...
He's going with his
him and
uncle.
his tray.
Yeah, it's
went
his
home.
uncle's.
Yeah, but
He's going to his uncle's house.
does Tobias have a car, or is he planning on pushing that cart down the street?
No, he threw it in the back of her car and then didn't know. Where the fuck did it go?
I don't-
He didn't take it out of the car, that's for sure.
I don't recall him taking it out of the school.
I think he's only got a backpack of food. That's it.
Mm.
That's not something I noticed, I guess.
Yeah.
Was it just me, or was all the characters figuring out how zombies work really forced in this episode?
I'm trying to look at it objectively from like the perspective of never ever seeing a zombie, having no knowledge of zombies, anything like that, and kind of having to figure it out. I think it's pretty realistic. It's like, I don't know, because you take all of our knowledge of zombies out of reality and have this incident happen to us. The first thing you're not gonna think of is shoot the head. It's not gonna be the first thing
No,
you
that's
think.
not what I mean. I mean, like,
The bites and all that.
it felt like they were figuring it out too fast. Like, you would be scared and not really thinking about it. Like, I don't know, the way they talked about it felt really just forced to me.
Well,
In a writing
know.
sense.
Well, they're still thinking these people are infected with a disease, and that's it. It's not like
Sick.
it's not Walker issues. Like, they think, oh, they could possibly come back, but oh no, it's coming too quick, so we gotta just take them down.
Yeah, and Madison, you saw, even tried talking to the principal, like, "Hey, are you okay? We can help you."
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah.
She was
Like,
really.
most of these walkers that we're seeing right now are like homeless and hippie.
Yeah.
So of course, who the fuck cares? You're shooting a hippie, or you're shooting a
Wow.
People who rioted cared.
Ladies
Yeah,
and
that
gentlemen,
riot
real life
was
Cartman.
serious.
shooting people for no reason. But still, it's to the cops and to them. You know what? We're going along with, and I hate to say it, how society's already gone with a lot of the freaking cop violence going on now.
Right.
Like, past people, you're killing innocent people. Well, from what they think are innocent people.
Yeah, but to them, it's another number. It's not somebody paying their tax dollars and everything
Well, no, I
else.
understand that, but coming
I hate
from
to say it that way. That's what they're
society
thinking.
itself.
That's not what I think.
Yeah.
Quote me as this being my thoughts.
Yeah. We all know that you're a horrible person, Pat.
As their action.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're basically Cartman in real life. So
No, that's not really Pat's thoughts. But I thought what was cool about the riot was the kid getting so involved in it. What was his name?
Chris.
Chris. Yeah.
yes.
Because he's the one filming it, and they're like, "Don't stop filming." So now he feels like he's important to this whole thing. He feels like everybody's standing behind him, almost as if he's leading it without having to do anything.
I matter.
Yeah.
His daddy's like, I'm not leaving. I'm staying. I'm one of them.
Yeah,
I'm a
met
rebel now.
protest
Okay,
that's doing nothing
sure.
because they're fucking walkers.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he already resents his father from the divorce, so he's not exactly going to listen to his dad, and that was very apparent when he's like, "No, I'm not going." But then when
Well-
his mom chimed in, it was like, "Listen to your father." All of a sudden, he was like, "What's going on?"
I have 2 points.
Mom's agreeing with Dad.
I have
What?
2 points to make about that. Point number 1, I think the reason they got divorced is because Travis cheated on her.
That
Because
may be true.
he works in the same building as Maddie.
Probably, yeah.
And I was, this episode, I was thinking, oh, he definitely cheated on his ex-wife. That is definitely what happened.
Probably. That's what I was thinking too.
Second point. I think, what's her, the ex-wife?
Alyssa or
No.
Liza?
Her name-
Liza,
Liza.
yeah. She's gonna be a fucking badass. Because she is so, just, when she knows something is the thing you have to do, she does it. Because she's looked at the zombie, the walker that was dead, the homeless man, she was like, okay, nope, we're going. Come on.
Yeah.
she's the
Right here.
Carol, like
Yeah.
the Carol that we've known seasons in,
Walking
not like
Dead proper.
not the beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beginning Carol, especially because I just went back and watched the first 2.5 seasons. And oh my god, I can't believe how much of a pushover Carol was in those early episodes. Like I totally forgot Carol was even married. I forgot she had an abusive, husband. Like I forgot that whole
Yeah.
spiel. Like I knew she had those things. So I'm not saying I forgot about it, but I forgot that it was shown on the show. You know,
Right.
I knew that stuff existed, but I didn't realize it was shown. I completely like blocked it out for whatever reason.
It feels like it was so long ago.
Oh, it was. It was 3.5 years ago.
A completely different character. Yep.
Yeah, no, she's gonna be a badass. I can't wait.
Yeah, Liza is cool.
Oh yeah.
What do we think about the new? I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm repeating something that you guys said already. What do you think about the family of the barbershop?
They will be dead soon.
Talk about them.
They seem, I don't know.
That's what I think.
I think the daughter's gonna hang around because she seems to have her head about her.
She does. She has her head on straight.
She wants to bang Chris, so
Well, I thought that as
That's-
well.
they're gonna bang.
Seems
So
very-
she's gonna live.
Mom and Dad.
So she's gonna live. This is the opposite of horror movie, rules.
Have you watched
Yeah,
The
this-
Walking Dead? They don't typically follow the rules.
There
are
no rules.
I don't know. They seem like they'll be helpful, but the parents.
I don't know. I feel like Mama ain't gonna do shit.
Mom's
She's
gonna pray.
get paid.
dead weight.
Mom's gonna pray.
She is like the priest. Dead weight.
Oh God. Hopefully without the bad decision making.
Yeah. No, no, it's both of them because one's the bad decision maker. That's Papa. And Mama's just praying the whole freaking time, not doing shit.
Oh,
So take them together. Here's our priest.
Mm.
There's Gabriel.
There you go. We've done it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
Figured it
Ladies and
out.
gentlemen, the bullet.
The bullet.
it's been dodged.
No one knows that joke but me and you,
No,
but
it's
okay.
just us, John.
I like the way you said it. It was funny.
Yeah, we're joke stealers is what we are. So to get Alicia to stay, do we think that Nick faked his seizure when Alicia was leaving?
I
He
think
was
so.
hinting that he was, but how
I
can you
think so.
throw up that much stuff?
He was already sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all you have to do, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, if I don't do it often, but if I start puking, I could just like think of puke and just start puking.
Keep going. I'm super glad that in this episode they kind of like weren't overly like, "Whoa,"
Yeah.
They didn't show it
Ace
too
show.
much. I was like,
Yeah.
thank you.
No, but it's nice. I definitely think he was trying to keep his sister safe. That's for sure.
And I like their relationship as brother and sister.
Yeah. I mean,
She
it's
goes-
kind of like a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
she said it. She goes, "I hate you."
And he says, I know. And when they said, I said it before he said it. I knew he was going to say, I know, because that's the kind of shit me and my brother do.
Because
to
that's a
each other.
Han Solo
Like, love
thing
you.
to do.
I know.
Yes,
I
correct.
know.
But it's like
It all comes.
really
It
care
all comes
about
back to Star Wars.
It's true.
and not really great.
I did think about that when I typed it out. I hate you, I know. I was like, that sounds a little Star Warsy.
Yeah.
I know.
I know.
Alicia is still probably my favorite character on the show. Like, I can't wait to see, because she seems the most realistic of
Yeah.
everybody here. Like, the disbelief, like, oh, whatever, like, what's going on? Like, not knowing anything, where everybody else is walking around like, I know what a zombie is, after never having heard of what a zombie
Well,
is.
there's only two of them that really were like that, Tobias and Nick.
Yeah, but I mean, it's even Nick now, like, after the fact that he showed the parents, and he's just like, they're still okay with him running some dude over with the car, granted he was a zombie, whatever, but it's still really weird, and I don't know if that quickly into, like, seeing it, if I would be able to accept it.
I don't think they're accepting it. I think they're just seeing the fact that just happened in front of them. That's like, you know what? I don't care. I don't want to be here. I want to get the hell out of here. We saw the guy on the freeway, because they saw the guy on the freeway getting shot.
Yeah.
That first one. Then
Yes.
there's videos of it. Now all of a sudden they had to run over the guy, not once, not twice, but what was it, like almost 3 times?
Yep.
Yeah.
So at that point they're like, yo, fuck this, I'm out. I quit. You can take the keys to the house. I don't give a shit. We're going to the desert.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I could relate to Alicia the most. It's just like, oh, that person is sick. You don't want me near them. If they're sick, I'm sick.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere.
She's very caring. She's definitely going to be like the medic of this dynamic. She's going to be the one to be taking care of people.
Herschel.
Herschel. But I like Nick. I like Nick a lot. I think there's so much potential for just crazy stuff to happen.
Can I just say
Charles, definitely.
I've reversed my decision on Alicia. I actually don't hate her anymore.
Thank you.
But I do think that Madison's still my favorite right now.
Yeah.
Madison's great.
She's still like the badassest lady.
Yeah,
we've
she's
got,
like early
so.
Rick.
I like Liza better than Madison in that regards, but Alicia I think is my favorite character on the show right now.
I don't have a favorite yet.
I mean, the thing is with Madison, she's like pragmatic, and I like to think of myself as pragmatic, so I identify with her a lot. So.
Right.
I think the characterizations are just done very well. They're written really well.
So I like Tobias. If I had to choose, yeah, I like him too.
If I had to choose, I'm
He's
choosing
kinda cool.
Tobias.
So far.
Yeah.
Tobias unfortunately is not going to last long.
He knows it's going down, and he's yelling timber.
He's not going to last long though.
You never
If
know.
it wasn't for Madison this episode, he would have been gone.
This is true.
Although also if it weren't for him, Madison might be gone. So that was a team effort.
Yeah, this is true.
It was a Rick Glenn thing.
But he's just like, give me my knife. I want my knife. And we saw how he handled himself with the knife. And yes, it's partly because of what we mentioned. You know, the skull is too thick and strong and everything at this stage in the zombie mode. But it's just like...
Tamed.
Like, what happens...
I thought he went for a headshot and missed.
No, he got it in the head and it just kind of like bent. Like, he hit the skull, and it didn't penetrate the skull.
It, like, bounced back.
Well, he was going...
Almost.
He went chest first to push him away, then went, like, forehead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Forehead's too thick right now. He needs to go side for the temple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. When it comes down to it, I think... Because he made a point to be he's on his own, but now is Madison gonna, like, pick him up on the way out, like, when they go to leave town? Or is she
That's
gonna...
if they ever get to leave town.
Yeah, or is she gonna notice him as she's leaving town, walking down the street as a zombie?
I don't know. It's gonna be hard, because, oh my god, shocking, there's a riot in LA, so...
Wow, John.
Look, there's been a lot over the years. So, I don't know. I don't even know if they're gonna... Even if they all get back together, where are they going to go? The city's going to be gridlocked.
That's what I was just going to say. It's going to be hard for them to get out.
Yeah.
Especially
I don't know what's going to happen. We're going to find out.
I don't know. I think Tobias is going to be that tragic story we see at the end where, you know, he's the one turned into the zombie.
Stop saying it.
They do that all, like, they take a character that you love, and everybody loves Tobias right now.
It's true.
Yeah.
He's a little
not a major character, but everybody loves him.
Exactly.
Oh, you care about them good. You get to watch them die.
Yay.
Thank you, Mr. Martin.
And just because he almost died this episode does not make him safe.
That has never been more true.
No, in this universe. Universe.
That only makes him a bigger target.
Yeah. These are not Harry Potter rules.
Because now you saw the struggle and him and survive through the struggle, and you're just rooting for him that much more because he's the underdog and he's not going to pull through. We're only 6 episodes. We're not even halfway yet.
As knowledgeable as he may be.
I don't know. I feel like he's gonna step in shit and come out smelling like a rose.
We'll see.
There's always one of them.
Only 4 episodes.
Always one.
There's always one. Carl was kind of on one before, man.
Unfortunately, I think that one is going to be Nick, because he's in shit right now.
No, Nick is shit
Nick
right
just
now.
needs to go through his withdrawals, get that out of his system, and then I think he'll
No, Nick's
pull
kind
it
of like
together.
our Daryl-esque when he was still fighting with being part of the team and not.
Kinda, yeah. I see
And
that.
it's
Daryl
just-
was on drugs too with Merle, and like they had that whole thing going on too.
Yeah, but he wasn't that much. Merle
No.
was the one that was definite on it.
No, he was definitely not as bad as Nick by any
Well,
means.
he's essentially our
Barely
Daryl.
withdrawing.
He's our Daryl. He knows that something's going on. He's not as useful right now, but I feel like he's gonna be an asset.
I really hope that they come across like a sporting goods store and Nick picks up like a crossbow or a bow and arrow and is just like, I don't know how to use this, and just walks away. Like, I really hope we get some scene like that. That would be great.
That'd be so funny.
But I feel like Tobias though is gonna be like that kind of Carl figure where we're gonna find him in a situation, and we're gonna have to save his ass.
Because all he wants to do is eat chocolate pudding.
Not the chocolate.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway, last thing I really have to say is there was an interesting use. I don't remember it being used in the first episode, but there was a very interesting use of slow motion in this episode.
Yeah. Especially at
And
the
it's
very
like-
beginning.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
couple times through the episode because they
Right.
did it again at the riot. You know,
Yep.
3/4 of the way through the episode, and they didn't. I have to applaud them because they didn't overuse it. Sometimes when shows or movies use slow-mo, they end up overusing it, but it was like the perfect. They saved it for the shots that needed it, and it was done well. So I hope if they use it in the future, it is with restraint.
With dignity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything else to say about this episode?
The very end scene, I know I saw a couple people online who were confused and thought the little girl was being attacked by her mother or her father or whatever, and that was not the case. It wasn't the little girl at all. It was the mother from across the street
Neighbor.
got attacked by the next door neighbor.
I don't know what
So-
people were thinking. You saw the guy coughing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
The one that was loading up his car, you mean?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, because we saw
yeah.
he was sweating and coughing,
And you just saw.
And that was another one of the slow-mo moments. He was going, and Travis was looking like, nope.
Yeah, pretty
See you
much.
later.
like, we know.
You ain't gonna make it. We're gonna steal your supplies, dick.
Yeah, it's just I want to know where
Yeah.
everybody with all the supplies think they're going.
That's exactly.
Oh,
So
wait.
we're not in
No.
the city.
Yeah, but it's like
Off the
it's gonna
radar.
be.
I still think the best thing to do is to board up where you are.
But think about The Walking Dead, the proper show. How many houses have we seen boarded up that when our group goes in, everyone's dead?
And even
Mhm.
yeah,
Boarding up the house, it's not going to work because if you stay where you are in a city setting or even a suburban setting,
Mhm.
there's going to be so many people that end up turning into zombies, and then you're surrounded. And then now there's definitely no way out.
There's a couple different reasons why not.
consideration.
First off, you're gonna run out of supplies really quick. And if you're afraid to leave the house, you're gonna die. You're gonna kill yourself because you're starving.
Hmm.
Or you're just gonna be like, you know what? The end is near. We might as well just take it in our own hands. The
But-
second part is you're gonna have so many zombies walking through, or even people just raiding your house
Yeah, exactly.
that are gonna kill you. They're gonna look for your supplies because, oh look, we're going through the town.
Mm.
The best place is to get the fuck out and just go into the woods, a desert, which sadly,
Dead Sea, the desert.
has
The desert.
We've come full circle.
Both options blow.
They do.
Because trying to get out, you could you could be stuck in traffic forever. Like, and
Exactly.
literally no one's ever gonna move because everyone just starts dying and then the roads are clogged.
I still like my idea. You just get a bunch of people with like-minded, whatever. Nobody you're actually friends with, but just like-minded people that are like, we gotta save ourselves. And you guys all go to, like, Walmart, and you board yourselves up inside,
That is Dom's ultimate zombie. That's
And-
Dom's zombie plan.
Walmart's got everything. You go to one of the grocery store Walmarts, you're good. And they have a shooting area. You can buy guns and bullets and BBs and hunting knives and all kinds of things in there. And then you just pick off everybody that helped board the place up with you one by one, and then you have the entire place to yourself. That's what I would do.
Awful.
But I mean, then I mean, if it ends up working, that's a good plan. But then you run into no fortification lasts forever, especially if you're in a heavy populated area with a lot of zombies that know you're there.
Do you know how much bullshit is in Walmart that I can just get thousands of shelves, like those awful metal shelving, and just barricade the door? Like, that shelving is not going to go anywhere.
I'm not saying that it's not a good idea. I'm just saying we've seen in the 6 seasons of The Walking Dead.
The only way you're going to get into my Walmart is if you crash a helicopter through the roof.
Farm, nothing lasts. Is the point I'm trying to make.
After a certain amount of time.
Yeah, you are.
Cleo.
And
Where the hell are you gonna
safety
go?
numbers.
Cleo, the only way you're going to get to me in my Walmart is if you crash a helicopter through the roof.
Sarah, I just. There she goes.
That was her favorite scene in The Walking Dead.
I'll be proud of yourself.
Thank you. Cleo hated that scene.
Fucking hate that scene.
And they keep to the roof.
The
It
most
was
uncharacteristic
just
scene in
awful.
the entirety of The Walking Dead.
I liked it. They tried something different. It was a bold move. Didn't work. They haven't done it again. I think it was
Bold and
great.
stupid.
I think it was a great attempt.
Definitely could have hurt them, but it's
Much like Ralph Wiggum.
Bold but stupid.
Is Mr. Lincoln okay?
Okay. I think that about does it for this episode. Oh, next week is called The Dog. After they escape a riot, Travis, Liza, and Chris seek refuge with the Salazars. I guess that's the
the family.
barbershop family.
Yeah, the barbershop.
And Madison defends her home.
Can they be
So-
a barbershop quartet?
I was just gonna say that,
There's
Don.
6 of
There's
them.
6 of them.
2 of them have to die,
6.
and then that'll work.
How about the family? Can just the family be the barbershop quartet?
Which family?
There's only 3 of them. It's a trio.
They can have a baby real quick.
No, Don. No.
They have.
John, where can the people find you?
Huh? Oh, God. You can find me at No More on
It's
Twitter.
like, thank God, this show's over.
At Michelle, where can the people find you?
At the thing, Michelle, or time
Time
and
and
space.
Space. Really fast space.
Dom, your turn.
You can find me at do.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, you can find me down there at Phenomenon. PHENOMEDOM.
Do 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 do.
You can find me at Cleomoto on the socials and on Twitch at the Cleomoto. Disney Infinity 3.0 came out like yesterday, and I'm gonna play it. So
Do you have Boba Fett?
we
wrong
actually haven't
system.
bought it yet, but we'll buy it tomorrow. Anyway, oh yeah, I don't have PS4, so no Boba Fett. You can find all of us on ASOTV Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, MySpace, right here on YouTube. Follow us for some more podcasts from some of your favorite TV shows. Until next week.
And make sure to check out the link in the description down below for our Facebook group to keep the discussion going.
Yes, Walking Dead specific Facebook group.
And check out the
See you guys
barber.
later.
We don't update our MySpace, so don't check that.
Don't ever go to our MySpace.
Don't ever.
Don't do it.
It's a waste of time.